Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Truth Be Cold. We must remember that the federal election of Canada is just days away, and this is probably the most consequential election of our generation, and therefore, the information that's about to be shared here may persuade some people to go a certain direction. I'm going to take a nonpartisan approach. I'm not going to be biased. I'm just going to state the facts according to the information that currently exists right now for each party and their respective leader. As I lay down the facts, we'll go through the list of 4 major concerns that Canadians currently have and want to see resolved by the next leader of this great nation. Now, what are those issues? Number 1, it's dealing with Trump and the threat of annexation, the economy, immigration crisis, and the housing affordability crisis. All right, let's get started. So, number 1, dealing with Trump and the threat of annexation. We're going to start off first with Mark Carney, who's the leader of the Liberal Party. He's going to take a very diplomatic approach. He would maintain close economic ties with the U.S. while using global institutions like the United Nations to minimize Trump's influence. But he also, in his first couple of weeks as Prime Minister, has demonstrated his political savviness in establishing alliances and trade ties with the European Union. Clearly, his play here is to seek Canada to be more independent from the United States and ultimately finding a new trading bloc whereby our goods can be bought and sold. Moving on to Pierre, who is the current leader of the Conservative Party, he will have a firm stance on sovereignty. He would oppose the threat strongly that Trump poses of annexation while trying to negotiate better trade deals with the U.S. He would not capitulate to Trump, but keep economic ties open. Big part of his strategy would be he needs to win the election, and not just win the election, but he needs to win the majority. Very similarly to Donald Trump, when he won the mandate of the popular vote in all 7 swing states, Pierre has said numerous times that he also wants to have a strong mandate by the Canadian people to be able to negotiate with Trump in a stronger position. Jagmeet Singh, the current leader of the New Democratic Party, or NDP, would be strongly critical of Donald Trump. He would denounce Trump as a threat to democracy, which he has done for many months now. He would be pushing for reduced ties with the United States and would be very aggressive with Canada aligning itself with other progressive global coalitions like the European Union. Yves François Blanchet, the current leader of the Bloc Québécois, would absolutely focus on Quebec sovereignty first. He would argue that Quebec must defend itself and that Canada's instability, including with Trump, justifies more independence for Quebec. He would likely be critical of both the United States and Canada. Number 2, the economy. Mark Carney would be pro-big government. He would support high government spending, green economy investment, carbon taxes, and wealth redistribution via ESG principles. Pierre advocates for the free market. He would slash government spending, cut taxes, destroy the carbon tax, not just metaphorically, but through legislation. He would unleash private industry and restore economic freedom. Jagmeet Singh would take a more socialist approach. He would want higher corporate taxes, bigger social programs, government-driven economy focused on equity and redistribution. Yves François Blanchet would go for Quebec first economy. He would push for protection of Quebec industries, especially dairy and energy. He would advocate for green economy investments and strong regional autonomy in economic decisions. Thank you so much for sticking around and partaking in thought sharing of my ideas, opinions, and beliefs on the topic at hand. I just want to say I appreciate everybody who's partaking on this journey with me. And if you liked the video, if you found value in it, please go ahead, like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Number 3, immigration crisis. Mark Carney would be pro-immigration. He wants higher immigration targets, especially for skilled sectors, without seriously addressing the strain on services. Pierre wants a balanced immigration, supports immigration but calls for it to be more controlled, merit-based, and tied to housing and service capacity. Jagmeet Singh would expand immigration, open immigration for more refugees, and more settlement support for those refugees who come into Canada. He ultimately wants immigration to increase for humanitarian reasons and doesn't necessarily have a limit on the amount of people he would want to bring into the country. Yves François Blanchet would want to protect Quebec culture. He supports immigration at levels that protect the French language and Quebec identity. He wants immigration selected by Quebec separately from Canada's federal plan, and therefore would most likely advocate for French-speaking immigrants over and above other immigrants from other countries who don't speak French as their main language. Number 4, housing affordability. Mark Carney is an advocate for heavy government intervention, national housing programs, subsidies, vacancy taxes, climate-conscious construction, and central planning model. In Mark Carney's vision, the government should intervene in the housing sector completely by being in charge of building over 500,000 homes in a 4-year period. Pierre believes in the free market. He wants to cut the red tape, penalize cities that block housing, support private builders, lower building costs by eliminating bureaucracy. Jagmeet Singh advocates for a socialist approach. He would want, therefore, a socialist model. Massive public housing construction, rent controls, vacancy of taxes, and strong tenant protections. Yves Francois Blanchet would advocate for Quebec autonomy on housing. He would push for more funding directly to Quebec for affordable housing with minimal federal interference. And he would support subsidized housing. Based on what was said in this video, what do you guys think is the best solution for Canada? Do you think Mark Carney, Pierre Poilievre, Jagmeet Singh, or Yves Francois Blanchet has the best idea of Canada's future going forward? If you think there's another candidate that should have been mentioned on here, or if you think that some of the positions that I said these candidates had were wrong, let me know in the comments section. I'd love to banter with all of you. That being said, have a great day, and bye for now.